Good evening. Welcome to the Super Saturday debate. I'm Zakir Jacob. The countdown has begun. India is all set to get a new parliament, a new and improved one, a building that has a shelf life of over 100 years and the vision of a new India. The new parliament dedicated to the nation will be thrown open tomorrow, 30 months after the groundbreaking ceremony that happened in December of 2020. The event will begin at 7:30 a.m. tomorrow and will be live here on CNN News 18. A puja will take place that will officially mark the beginning of the festivities. At 12 noon, the Prime Minister is expected to inaugurate the new Sansad. He is also expected to place the Sengol, which was handed over to him by the Adinam seers today in a private function. The parliament might be a new one, but the politics remains the old one. 20-odd opposition parties have decided to skip the event. They have alleged that the Prime Minister has insulted the President, a charge that is outrightly rejected by the centre. The question is, isn't the boycott of the new parliament building, and mind you, this parliament is not for the incumbent Prime Minister or the current ruling party. It is going to far outlive the current Prime Minister or the current ruling party. It is for all of India. It is for democracy. Isn't the boycott of the inauguration of such an institution damaging and insulting to the pride of India? Shouldn't the opposition rethink its decision on boycott?
आजादी हुई तो जो चीज पर फिर जहां पर से शुरुआत हो गया तो उसी को और विकसित कर देना चाहिए। अलग से नया बनाने का कोई मतलब नहीं, क्या पुराना इतिहास बदल दीजिएगा।
वो बात अलग है, कुछ लोगों का संसद आने पे रोक लग गई तो कभी वो वहां पर सदन ना चलाने के बहाने ढूंढते थे, आज वो बहिष्कार करते हैं तो वहीं पर अपमानित करने का काम भी करते हैं।
All right, joining us on the talking point, this Super Saturday debate is Ajay Alok, BJP spokesperson, Rohan Gupta, spokesperson of the Congress Party, JP Majumdar, spokesperson of the TMC, and Ratan Sharda, author and RSS sympathizer. Let me start with Ajay Alok. They say the business of running the parliament is on the ruling parties, on the treasury benches. So when you have something as historic as the inauguration of the new parliament building, shouldn't it have been the responsibility of the government and the treasury benches to walk that extra mile to assuage the concerns of the opposition and make sure that the opposition also shows up in strength? Because after all, like I said at the top of the show, this parliament is going to far outlive every single parliamentarian who is in that building right now.
Well, Zaka, first of all, it's not complete opposition. Some part of the opposition which is opposing the inauguration of the parliament by our esteemed Prime Minister. Now you have to see what kind of mindset is provoking them to do so or has compelled them to do so. It's the colonial mindset, it's the familial mindset, the mindset which says that only one family and only the family which runs the country and states, they should have the honor of inaugurating the parliament, not somebody like Narendra Modi who has come down from rages, from a village background who knows nothing about it. How can he inaugurate the parliament? This is the kind of respect they show towards the democracy, that in a democracy when an elected leader, not once but twice elected leader is inaugurating the parliament and they are having fangs in their abdomen. So this is their problem, their colonial mindset. It's not the mindset of India. The people of this country are happy that a new parliament after 96 years has been made, which was in condo for the last 15 years that we have to make a parliament. 2012, when Meera Kumar came up with the proposition, everybody agreed that yes, we need a new parliament. This is the need of the hour. And today when the new parliament is being made, and that too during COVID times, which aided to the so many workers for their jobs during COVID times. Then also they opposed. They went to the Supreme Court also for stalling the building of Parliament. So it is their colonial mindset. They don't want anything to happen. They think that the propriety belongs to them and everything should come to them, and that comes naturally to Congress Party and other Samajwadi Party. Look who is opposing. All the familial parties, all the parties which have a family roots background, they are opposing it. So we don't care. The India has come out of the colonial mindset and it's not going to get into the colonial mindset again. One Sengol, then Parliament, everything for the sake of opposition.
So let me ask Rohan Gupta, the point of this boycott, is it that you're opposed to the building of the new parliament, or is it that you're opposed to the person who's inaugurating it? Because you never had any love lost for the president. When the election happened, the opposition put up a separate candidate of its own. Or is it the fact that you have a problem with Narendra Modi inaugurating the new parliament? That's the point that Ajay Alok and the BJP are making. Rohan.
I think, Zaka, you have not asked a relevant question. That is it the fact that the first citizen of the country is not inaugurating the parliament. That is our issue. The way Mr. Ajay Alok was speaking, I thought he is speaking as if we want Sonia ji to inaugurate the parliament. He never spoke about the president. He never spoke about the rights of the democracy. He never spoke about the first citizen of the country. Why he is not able to speak about that, Zaka? Last 3 days this debate is going on. The basic question is why the first citizen of the country is not invited to such a big function where the democracy, it's a pride of our democracy. So we are not fighting against Mr. Modi. It is welcome, he is our Prime Minister. But what is wrong if our president is also there? Because she is the first citizen of the country. And coming to our question that we are fighting, no, after she became president, she is president of the country. Before that, we might have whatever issues. She was candidate of one party then. But after becoming president, she is the president of the country. And it is our responsibility as a citizen of the country to protect her pride and rights. What is wrong in that? Why Mr. Ajay Alok and BJP, they are not able to speak on this issue? Why they are taking round and going on a different issue? Because they don't want to address the core issue. They really don't want to address the core issue.
Will you also answer the question, the Sengol, for example, today was presented to the Prime Minister by the Adinams of the Tiruvadurai Mutt. Now, the BJP's contention is that this was a historic relic. It was presented to Jawaharlal Nehru, symbolizing the transfer of power. It was then relegated as a walking stick in the Allahabad Museum. And today, after 75 years, it's the Prime Minister and the BJP who have revived this relic. And this relic is now going to be part of the new Lok Sabha. The contention by the BJP is you have ignored our 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 year history, and you have sort of co-opted yourself with this anglicized, colonial, white man version of India's history.
It's other way around, Zaka, because BJP is badly caught in this controversy. They made a blunder. They are accusing Congress. They have to go in past. What is wrong? You go ahead. You establish the pride. Nothing wrong in that. But why you are not able to answer the simple question that why the first citizen of the country is not invited to such a grand event? You don't have any answer.
Okay.
How can you defend such a blunder?
Let Ajay Alok respond, and then I'll open it up to the other guests as well. Yeah, Ajay Alok, why is the first citizen not the one who is inaugurating the new parliament?
Or invited?
I'm really amazed by Mr. Rohan Gupta's assessment that why the first citizen is not invited. What kind of respect they have toward this first citizen of the country? Wow. Where was this respect gone when you had already been elected? Don't interrupt in between. Let's hear each other politely. Where was this first citizen's respect gone when she was already elected and your leader of opposition called her Rashtrapati? Where was the respect gone? When you called her from all names when she was contesting, there was no respect for women, there was no respect for first citizen. Just for the heck of opposition, you're just mentioning first citizen. Don't you know it is Lok Sabha? The purview comes under the speaker. Don't you know it's the place for the elected representative who are directly elected by the people? Don't you know it's Lok Sabha? And in Lok Sabha, all the elected representatives elect their Prime Minister, who is supposed to be the supermost elected person of this country. In the view of democracy, none other than the Prime Minister is supposed to inaugurate the Lok Sabha. But you had a colonial mindset, sir. Even in 1927, when this current parliament was being inaugurated, it was inaugurated by King George VI, and Motilal Nehru was a witness to it. He never opposed it. That why not an elected member from the people should inaugurate the temple of democracy that is called as Lok Sabha. But your leader in the last 3 days, they also raised question, why to call this as a temple of democracy? Why we shouldn't call this as a madrasa of democracy? You guys have gone nuts and crazy. You don't know the ethos of this country. You don't know the integrity, value, and the symbol of this country. This Lok Sabha signifies the strength, integrity, and the peace this country wants.
One second. Let me ask Ratan Sharda, and then I'll go to JP Majumdar as well. They've been waiting patiently. So, Ratan, I'll come to you. I'll circle back to you, Rohan. Give me a couple of minutes, please. Ratan Sharda, the contention that's being made by the opposition, and there are some news reports as well which allude to this, is that this whole Sengol, there is no documentary evidence, and Rajmohan Gandhi, who is the grandson of both Mahatma Gandhi and Rajaji, has written an op-ed piece also saying that there is no documentary evidence to suggest that this whole hypothesis that, you know, they wanted to ask for a transfer of power, what could be a transfer of power, Nehru asked Rajaji, then Rajaji came up with this relic of the Sengol, and then the Sengol was presented first from Mountbatten to the Adinam, and from Adinam to Pandit Nehru just before India became independent on the 14th of August 1947. Rajmohan Gandhi, and there are other historians also written about this, saying that there is no documentary evidence to suggest this. How do you respond to that?
Well, Zaka, for people who have wiped away thousands of pages of history to question this very document is laughable. First of all, there are photographs, there are descriptions on the same Adhinam which they don't want to believe. There is a complete news story in the Time magazine, which is a Vice magazine, not even Indian magazine. They don't want to recognize that also. So you have raised doubts about even Aurangzeb. You have raised doubt about Shivaji, about everybody. You have simply removed the history of South, of the Northeast, and the history they have written. That means that didn't happen. So to say that it is not there in the records that you have maintained, when you remove a particular, I say, okay, there is, it was not given to Mountbatten, but there is a complete ritual description in the Time and also in the photograph that how it was handed over with complete rituals to Pandit Nehru. Then how did it become a walking stick? Why did it disappear in the museum in Allahabad? Is there any answer? So if you insult a religious relic which was duly handed over to Nehru and you say it is not part of history, then there is something typically wrong in a mindset, because it's a highly colonized mindset who doesn't want to accept anything, who still believe that old Lok Sabha is a temple of democracy because it was handed over by British, and so we cannot make a new building even as world progresses, even as we come into new technologies, even as we realize 100-year-old building which cannot take more capacity either in technology or anywhere, still we want to stick to that same Lok Sabha. And coming to propriety, these are the last people who shock of propriety. Sanjay Gandhi got acres of land for memorial. He was no government official. Give me one record which shows that Sanjay Gandhi held any position and he had a right to be put into a memorial of acres of land in prime land of the capital. On what ground it was done? Sonia Gandhi inaugurated Manipur and this Chhattisgarh. What did she have? No constitutional right, nothing. And you talk of presidential dignity, how Kovind was treated by Congress. They never visited him. And just a moment. And they ridiculed vaccine. They ridiculed, boycotted the president's lecture. Now they're respecting him. They ridiculed toilets. They ridiculed UPI payment. They boycotted nearly every session. And CA was also rejected. It was their part of request. Even the farm bill was their part of manifesto. That's also rejected. So here they are, who simply want to somehow keep on denying the Prime Minister his due place. And that is the only reason. Everything else is excuse. Because they have opposed every step. Show me one step in 9 years.
Let me ask JP Majumdar. Yeah, let me ask JP Majumdar. You know, this newfound love that the opposition has for the first citizen, the president. All right, let's listen into what the Prime Minister is speaking. He's speaking at the Adinam.
Om Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Namah. Har Har Mahadev. सबसे पहले विभिन्न आदिनम से जुड़े आप सभी पूज्य संतों का मैं शीश झुकाकर अभिनंदन करता हूं। आज मेरे निवास स्थान पर आपके चरण पड़े हैं। ये मेरे लिए बहुत सौभाग्य की बात है। ये भगवान शिव की कृपा है जिसकी वजह से मुझे एक साथ आप सभी शिव भक्तों के दर्शन करने का मौका मिला है। मुझे इस बात की भी बहुत खुशी है कि कल नए संसद भवन के लोकार्पण के समय आप सभी वहां साक्षात आकर के आशीर्वाद देने वाले हैं। पूज्य संतगण, हम सभी जानते हैं कि हमारे स्वतंत्रता संग्राम में तमिलनाडु की कितनी महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका रही है। वीर मंगई वेलु नाचियार से लेकर मर्द भाइयों तक, सुब्रमण्यम भारती से लेकर नेताजी सुभाष चंद्र बोस के साथ जुड़ने वाले अनेकों तमिल लोगों तक हर युग में तमिलनाडु भारतीय राष्ट्रवाद का गढ़ रहा है। तमिल लोगों के दिल में हमेशा से मां भारती की सेवा की, भारत के कल्याण की भावना रही है। बावजूद इसके ये बहुत दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है कि भारत की आजादी में तमिल लोगों के योगदान को वो महत्व नहीं दिया गया जो दिया जाना चाहिए था। अब बीजेपी ने इस विषय को प्रमुखता से उठाना शुरू किया है। अब देश के लोगों को भी पता चल रहा है कि महान तमिल परंपरा और राष्ट्रभक्ति के प्रतीक तमिलनाडु के साथ क्या व्यवहार हुआ था। जब आजादी का समय आया तब सत्ता के हस्तांतरण के प्रतीक को लेकर प्रश्न उठा था। इसके लिए हमारे देश में अलग अलग परंपराएं रही हैं, अलग अलग रीति रिवाज भी रहे हैं, लेकिन उस समय राजा जी और आदिनम के मार्गदर्शन में हमें अपनी प्राचीन तमिल संस्कृति से एक पुण्य मार्ग मिला था। ये मार्ग था सेंगोल के माध्यम से सत्ता हस्तांतरण का। तमिल परंपरा में शासन चलाने वाले को सेंगोल दिया जाता था। सेंगोल इस बात का प्रतीक था कि उसे धारण करने वाले व्यक्ति पर देश के कल्याण की जिम्मेदारी है और वो कभी कर्तव्य के मार्ग से विचलित नहीं होगा। सत्ता हस्तांतरण के प्रतीक के तौर पर तब 1947 में 1947 में पवित्र तिरुवावड़ुतुरई आदिनम द्वारा एक विशेष सेंगोल तैयार किया गया था। आज उस दौर की तस्वीरें हमें याद दिला रही हैं कि तमिल संस्कृति और आधुनिक लोकतंत्र के रूप में भारत की नियति के बीच कितना भावुक और आत्मीय संबंध रहा है। आज उन गहरे संबंधों की गाथा इतिहास के दबे हुए पन्नों से बाहर निकलकर एक बार फिर जीवंत हो उठी है। इससे उस समय की घटनाओं को समझने का सही दृष्टिकोण भी मिलता है और इसके साथ ही हमें ये भी पता चलता है कि सत्ता के हस्तांतरण के इस सबसे बड़े प्रतीक के साथ क्या किया गया। मेरे देशवासियों, आज मैं राजा जी और विभिन्न आदिनम की दूरदर्शिता को भी विशेष तौर पर नमन करूंगा। आदिनम के एक सेंगोल ने भारत को सैकड़ों वर्षों की गुलामी के हर प्रतीक से मुक्ति दिलाने की शुरुआत कर दी थी। जब भारत की आजादी का प्रथम पल आया, आजादी का प्रथम पल, वो क्षण आया, तो ये सेंगोल ही था जिसने गुलामी से पहले वाले कालखंड और स्वतंत्र भारत के उस पहले पल को आपस में जोड़ दिया था। इसलिए इस पवित्र सेंगोल का महत्व सिर्फ इतना ही नहीं है कि ये 1947 में हस्तांतरण का प्रतीक बना था। इस सेंगोल का महत्व इसलिए भी है क्योंकि इसने गुलामी के पहले वाले गौरवशाली भारत से, उसकी परंपराओं से स्वतंत्र भारत के भविष्य को कनेक्ट कर दिया था। अच्छा होता कि आजादी के बाद इस पूज्य सेंगोल को पर्याप्त मान सम्मान दिया जाता, इसे गौरवमय स्थान दिया जाता, लेकिन ये सेंगोल प्रयागराज में आनंद भवन में वॉकिंग स्टिक यानी पैदल चलने पर सहारा देने वाली छड़ी कहकर प्रदर्शनी के लिए रख दिया गया था। आपका ये सेवक और हमारी सरकार अब उस सेंगोल को आनंद भवन से निकाल कर लाई है। आज आजादी के उस प्रथम पल को नए संसद भवन में सेंगोल की स्थापना के समय हमें फिर से पुनर्जीवित करने का मौका मिला है। लोकतंत्र के मंदिर में आज सेंगोल को उसका उचित स्थान मिल रहा है। मुझे खुशी है कि अब भारत की महान परंपरा के प्रतीक उसी सेंगोल को नए संसद भवन में स्थापित किया जाएगा। ये सेंगोल इस बात की याद दिलाता रहेगा कि हमें कर्तव्य पथ पर चलना है, जनता जनार्दन के प्रति जवाबदेह बने रहना है। पूज्य संतगण, आदिनम की महान प्रेरक परंपरा साक्षात सात्विक ऊर्जा का प्रतीक है। आप सभी संत शैव परंपरा के अनुयायी हैं। आपके दर्शन में जो एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत की भावना है, वो स्वयं भारत की एकता और अखंडता का प्रतिबिंब है। आपके कई आदिनम के नामों में ही इसकी झलक मिल जाती है। आपके कुछ अधिनियम के नाम में कैलाश का उल्लेख है। ये पवित्र पर्वत तमिलनाडु से बहुत दूर हिमालय में है, फिर भी ये आपके हृदय के करीब है। शैव सिद्धांत के प्रसिद्ध संतों में से एक तिरुमूलर के बारे में कहा जाता है कि वो कैलाश पर्वत से शिव भक्ति का प्रसार करने के लिए तमिलनाडु आए थे। आज भी उनकी रचना तिरुमंदिरम के श्लोकों का पाठ भगवान शिव की स्मृति में किया जाता है। अपर, समंदर, सुंदरर और माणिका वासगर जैसे कई महान संतों ने उज्जैन, केदारनाथ और गौरीकुंड का उल्लेख किया है। जनता जनार्दन के आशीर्वाद से आज मैं महादेव की नगरी काशी का सांसद हूं, तो आपको काशी की भी बात बताऊंगा। धर्मपुरम आदीनम के स्वामी कुमार गुरुपरा तमिलनाडु से काशी गए थे। उन्होंने बनारस के केदार घाट पर केदारेश्वर मंदिर की स्थापना की थी। तमिलनाडु के तिरुपन्नदारु में काशी मठ का नाम भी काशी पर रखा गया। इस मठ के बारे में एक दिलचस्प जानकारी भी मुझे पता चली है। कहा जाता है कि तिरुपन्नदारु का काशी मठ तीर्थ यात्रियों को बैंकिंग सेवाएं उपलब्ध कराता था। कोई तीर्थ यात्री तमिलनाडु के काशी मठ में पैसे जमा करने के बाद काशी में प्रमाण पत्र दिखाकर वो पैसे निकाल सकता था। इस तरह शैव सिद्धांत के अनुयायियों ने सिर्फ शिव भक्ति का प्रसार ही नहीं किया, बल्कि हमें एक दूसरे के करीब लाने का कार्य भी किया। पूज्य संतगण, सैकड़ों वर्षों की गुलामी के बाद भी तमिलनाडु की संस्कृति आज भी जीवंत और समृद्ध है, तो इसमें आदीनम जैसी महान और दिव्य परंपरा की भी बड़ी भूमिका है। इस परंपरा को जीवित रखने का दायित्व संत जनों ने तो निभाया ही है, साथ ही इसका श्रेय पीड़ित, शोषित, वंचित सभी को जाता है कि उन्होंने इसकी रक्षा की, उसे आगे बढ़ाया। राष्ट्र के लिए योगदान के मामले में आपकी सभी संस्थाओं का इतिहास बहुत गौरवशाली रहा है। अब उस अतीत को आगे बढ़ाने, उससे प्रेरित होने और आने वाली पीढ़ियों के लिए काम करने का समय है। पूज्य संतगण, देश ने अगले 25 वर्षों के लिए कुछ लक्ष्य तय किए हैं। हमारा लक्ष्य है कि आजादी के 100 साल पूरे होने तक एक मजबूत, आत्मनिर्भर और समावेशी विकसित भारत का निर्माण हो। 1947 में 1947 में आपकी महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका से कोटि कोटि देशवासी पुनः परिचित हुए हैं। आज जब देश 2047 के बड़े लक्ष्यों को लेकर आगे बढ़ रहा है, तब आपकी भूमिका और महत्वपूर्ण हो गई है। आपकी संस्थाओं ने हमेशा सेवा के मूल्यों को साकार किया है। आपने लोगों को एक दूसरे से जोड़ने का, उनमें समानता का भाव पैदा करने का बड़ा उदाहरण पेश किया है। भारत जितना एकजुट होगा उतना ही मजबूत होगा। इसलिए हमारी प्रगति के रास्ते में रुकावटें पैदा करने वाले तरह तरह की चुनौतियां खड़ी करेंगे। जिन्हें भारत की उन्नति खटकती है, वो सबसे पहले हमारी एकता को ही तोड़ने की कोशिश करेंगे। लेकिन मुझे विश्वास है कि देश को आपकी संस्थाओं से आध्यात्मिकता और सामाजिकता की जो शक्ति मिल रही है, उससे हम हर चुनौती का सामना कर लेंगे। मैं फिर एक बार आप मेरे यहां पधारे, आप सबने आशीर्वाद दिए, ये मेरा सौभाग्य है। मैं फिर एक बार आप सबका हृदय से आभार व्यक्त करता हूं, आप सबको प्रणाम करता हूं। नए संसद भवन के लोकार्पण के अवसर पर आप सब यहां आए और हमें आशीर्वाद दिया। इससे बड़ा सौभाग्य कोई हो नहीं सकता है और इसलिए मैं जितना धन्यवाद करूं उतना कम है। फिर एक बार आप सबको प्रणाम करता हूं। ओम नमः शिवाय। वणक्कम।